Listen carefully because this is the moment most men never recover from. The exact second when your desire flips into pursuit, your attention turns into need, and your presence collapses into pressure. You think you're showing interest. She feels you pulling for certainty. You think you're winning her over. Her nervous system reads, "He needs something from me," and instinctively steps back. The paradox is brutal and simple. The more you chase, the less she feels compelled to move. The principle almost no man understands is that desire is not created by pressure. It is ignited by space, by your self-command, by the quiet gravity of a man who leads his life and lets her choose to close the gap. Today, you will learn how to stop chasing and start drawing her in, ethically, clearly, confidently, using evidence-based psychology, field-tested methods, and masculine standards that make you impossible to ignore. Start by resetting the frame inside your head. Attraction responds to signals that you are resourced: time, attention, options, purpose, and emotional regulation. When you chase, you broadcast scarcity. Scarcity in you multiplies scarcity in her. She protects her attention because you aren't protecting yours. Your first discipline is to become the guardian of your focus. That's not aloofness. That's leadership. You are not withdrawing from women. You are withdrawing from need. The difference is everything she will feel around you. You already know what chasing looks like. Over-messaging, rapid-fire replies, explaining your value, justifying your intention, asking for clarity too early, steering the conversation to dates without any tension built, rewarding lukewarm effort with high effort. The more you do this, the more you teach her that her minimal investment earns your maximum energy. Human behavior follows incentives. According to commitment and consistency research in social psychology, we value what we've chosen and built, not what was pushed into our hands. If you want a woman to pursue, structure the interaction so she voluntarily invests bit by bit. A thought, a laugh, a question, a plan she contributes to, a small risk she takes. You're not withholding to manipulate, you're pacing to protect polarity and desire. Polarity requires difference. You stand anchored in direction. She decides when and how to join. Your job is not to close distance at any cost. It's to create a strong, safe, compelling direction. Then leave enough open space for her to move into. This aligns with self-determination theory in motivation science. People are most engaged when they feel autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Provide a path, not pressure. Offer a clear invitation, not a need. Keep your responses concise and grounded. Let silence do some of the work. Desire breathes in space. Here is the law you'll live by from now on. Initiate, then pace. You open, you don't flood. You present options, you don't sell yourself. You move first, you don't move the most. This is not a game, it's regulation. The capacity to feel desire without becoming consumed by it. The masculine becomes magnetic when it can hold tension without exploding into reassurances and explanations. You'll notice how grounded athletes maintain calm under pressure, how effective negotiators leave room for the other side to come forward, how great leaders state the mission, set the tempo, and let people opt in. Attraction follows the same physics. State your tempo, hold it. Let's make this practical. When you speak to her, stop trying to fill every gap. Shorten the loop. Replace qualifying monologues with unhurried statements. Instead of, "I'd really love to take you out sometime. If you're free, we could maybe do dinner or anything you like. I don't want to be pushy. I just think you're amazing." Say, "I'm grabbing espresso Thursday at 6. Join me if you want good conversation." That line does three things at once. It frames your life as already moving. It signals an invitation without pressure. It places the choice with her. You moved first. You didn't chase. If she hesitates or responds lukewarm, you don't chase clarity. You say, "No worries, another time," and return to your life. You communicated that access to your presence respects your time. This is the scarcity principle applied ethically. What is truly valuable remains available, but not endlessly accessible. We find greater value in what is responsibly scarce. Your time is scarce because your life matters. The man who lives this truth feels different. He is not bluffing, he is busy building, he is not acting like he has options. His life actually contains them. Purpose, training, brotherhood, projects, and play. Women feel the difference between a man who withholds for effect and a man whose calendar already has weight. Stop overcrowding her phone. Texting is for logistics and light sparks, not emotional guarantees. Most men use messaging to regulate their own anxiety. They bombard because they fear losing momentum. The irony is that momentum dies from overexposure. Ziyong's mere exposure effect improves liking only when exposure occurs with positive affect and the person is not oversaturated. Too much pinging, not enough positive novelty, and perceived value declines. Use a rhythm, light open, playful thread, time passes, logistics to meet. That's it. If she pushes you into endless texting, you reframe. I don't live in the chat. Let's meet. Thursday 6. If she declines twice without offering an alternative, you release. Not as a tactic because your standards don't chase uncertainty. This is interdependence theory in action. You manage your outcomes, not someone else's ambivalence. On the date, you demonstrate relaxed leadership. Choose a plan with movement, a short coffee or tea to start, a walk to a bookstore or gallery, a stop for something small. Movement creates shared novelty, which increases dopamine and memory consolidation. You don't try to dazzle. You create micro-experiences where both of you contribute. Ask questions that travel. What challenge are you currently enjoying? Beats. What do you do? You are not auditioning. You're exploring compatibility. Use the pratfall effect subtly. Be polished, but share a small self-aware imperfection. It reads as authentic competence, not stilted perfectionism. Notice her investment levels. If she invests, asks back, suggests a stop, volunteers a story, you expand. If she closes, you relax the frame, enjoy the moment, and keep it short. End first. Scarcity again. Time-boxed encounters maintain desire beyond the date. When you leave, do not flood her with debriefs. One concise message that evening or the next morning is enough. I enjoyed your take on specific thing. Espresso round 2 next week. Tuesday works. Specificity shows presence. Brevity shows self-command. She replies enthusiastically or proposes an alternative. Good. She responds with a lukewarm emoji. You don't chase emotion. You hold the offer lightly and move forward with your life. If there is silence, you do not escalate. Chasing silence is how men teach women to delay. Rewarding delay trains more delay. Rewarding reciprocity trains pursuit. You reinforce what you want to see by calibrating your attention toward it. Let's upgrade your internal structure so this becomes effortless. First, replace outcome fixation with process dominance. Your mission is to present clear, high-quality invitations consistently. You practice social calibration like you practice lifting. Sets, reps, rest. Second, install an abundance mindset that is not a cliché. Abundance is built, not imagined. Join mixed social environments where conversation is normal and low stakes. Weekly activities that give you natural exposure. Language classes, partner sports, co-ed fitness, art nights, volunteering that matches your values. Mere exposure plus authentic contribution equals presence that grows without pushing. Third, strengthen your signal. Your presentation, style, grooming, posture, scent, communicates immediately. Minimalist, well-fitting clothing and clean shoes outperform loud statements. A consistent scent becomes a memory anchor. Eye contact that lands, then relaxes, then returns, creates a steady pulse of attention without clinging. Boundaries separate magnetism from manipulation. You are not using scarcity to exploit. You are using it to protect mutual desire. Consent and enthusiasm are your compass. If she shows hesitation, you slow down or step back. If she says no, you end the move gracefully. You never punish distance, you simply match it. Matching energy instead of chasing energy is how a man keeps his center. This alone makes you stand out in a culture of over-pursuit. Now let's tap into a powerful dynamic backed by learning theory, investment, and the IKEA effect. We disproportionately value what we help build. Invite her to co-create the experience. Ask her to pick a neighborhood within your 2 options. Let her choose the pastry after you pick the cafe. Ask for her opinion on 2 art pieces and disagree playfully on 1. These micro-investments cause her brain to log the connection as partially her creation, which increases value and attachment. Combine this with the Zeigarnik effect. Our minds remember incomplete, meaningful tasks better than finished ones, by leaving threads open. We didn't finish that debate on spontaneous versus planned trips. To be continued. You don't leave trauma-inducing loops, you leave stimulating questions that carry forward. A crucial shift. Stop trying to be understood and start being felt. Attraction is pre-verbal before it is logical. Your voice pace, your breathing, your stillness carry more weight than 100 reasons to like you. Speak slower than your anxiety wants. Pause longer than your mind thinks is safe. Look at her mouth when she's speaking, and then back to her eyes. This regulates you and signals attention without grasping. The law of vibration language, popular in certain self-development circles, overlaps here with effective neuroscience. Calm, coherent states influence other nervous systems. You calibrate the room by calming yours first. You do this through breath, posture, and purpose remembrance, reminding yourself internally, I choose who enters my life. I am here to discover, not to prove. Understand attachment tendencies without turning them into excuses. If you notice anxious patterns, ruminating when she takes longer to reply, wanting reassurance, you don't chase to numb it. You sit with the discomfort and lead yourself. You might set a rule. No double texting without new logistics. No checking her social stories for a day after a date. No answering immediately unless you truly have the time and desire. These rules are not rigid. They are training wheels for self-respect. In contrast, if you lean avoidant, detached, withholding, you practice transparent interest. I enjoy your energy. I'd like to see you again. Said simply, then paced. Healthy polarity needs signal clarity. Mystery is not the same as confusion. You are clear in intention, light in tone, and slow in escalation. Let's address social proof, a concept famous in persuasion literature and pickup culture alike. Social proof is not posting photos to provoke jealousy. True social proof is how people react to you in public. It's the bartender greeting you by name, your friends laughing with you, the ease with which you navigate spaces. This shows competence and belonging. If you lack this, build it. Become a regular somewhere, learn names, make introductions, host small gatherings. Social ease is a learnable skill and communicates that being around you is safe and enjoyable. When a woman witnesses you in your natural ecosystem, she reads your value without you declaring it. Stop trying to be flawless. The pratfall effect shows that competent people who reveal a small, relatable flaw become more attractive. Handle it with self-awareness. You might admit you're directionally challenged and hand her the map with a smile. Not a confession of chaos, just a human moment. This breaks performance while preserving leadership. When men overcorrect into icy perfection, women sense a wall. When men overcorrect into vulnerability dumping, women sense need. The sweet spot is calibrated authenticity, open enough to be real, structured enough to be trusted. Now the core behavioral sequence that flips pursuit. Step 1. Lead with clarity. I want to meet you Thursday at 6. Step 2. Give her the wheel. If Thursday's tight, tell me what works. Step 3. Match investment. She offers alternatives, you confirm. She delays without a new option, you release. Step 4. Deliver a high-quality first experience that is short, sensory, and unfinished. Step 5. Exit first. Express desire simply and reschedule with specificity. Step 6. Between meetings, keep messages light and purposeful, not maintenance chatter. Step 7. Escalate physically and emotionally only at the pace of reciprocated enthusiasm, never to force momentum. Step 8. Repeat the cycle with consistency. Over time, this rhythm creates a felt sense in her. To keep access to you, she must step toward you too. She will, if the connection is real. If she doesn't, you haven't lost. You've filtered. Here's a mental model. You are the fire. Oxygen is space. Too much oxygen, chatter, validation, pressure, and the fire blows out or flares unsafely. Too little oxygen, cold, distant. Cryptic, and the fire never catches. Your craft is modulating space. In text, that means you leave room. In person, that means you hold your ground. Turn your body slightly rather than leaning in to fill silence. Let her reach your shoulder with her hand first, then reciprocate. You let questions land and wait for her to pick them up. You do not scramble to entertain. When you feel the urge to chase, slow your breath, uncross tension in your body, soften your gaze, and re-enter the moment. Chasing lives in the future. Attraction lives in the present. Let's talk language. Replace asking for permission with declaring your direction and inviting her along. Instead of, "Would you maybe like to go out sometime?" say, "I'm heading to the night market Saturday. Join for 20 minutes, best dumplings in the city." The specificity makes it real. The time box reduces pressure. The confident frame invites a yes or no without drama. In conversation, trade approval-seeking questions for curiosity-driven prompts. What story do your friends tell about you that you secretly like? Is better than, "So, do you like music?" Your words are not tricks. They are proof you can lead an interesting moment. Calibrate compliments. Early compliments on fixed traits, "You're gorgeous," can feel generic and cost you leverage. Compliment dynamics and choices. "I like how you hold eye contact when you disagree. That book on your table says something about your curiosity. You tell a story like a director." Compliments on process show you notice and appreciate who she is becoming, not just what she looks like. This kind of attention is rare and addictive because it affirms agency, not vanity. Invest in your voice. The same sentence delivered with a centered breath has a different effect. Practice reading a page a day aloud, recording and listening for rushed syllables. Train a lower, clearer register not by forcing pitch but by exhaling fully before speaking. Pause at commas. Let the last word finish. Don't trail off. Women feel your nervous system through your voice. A regulated voice means a regulated man. Combine this with eye contact that breaks first and returns. When you exit a look first, you signal you don't need to cling. When you return, you signal choice. This rhythm invites her to come closer. Understand reward prediction error from neuroscience. Desire spikes when rewards arrive just beyond expectation. If you message at perfectly uniform intervals with predictable content, she acclimates and the dopamine response flattens. If your timing and content vary within a healthy rhythm, she stays engaged. Here's how you respond to common scenarios without chasing. She says, "I'm busy this week." You say, "All good. Ping me when your week opens up." Then you do not follow up unless she does. The ball is in her court. She watches your stories but doesn't reply. You do nothing. Viewing is not investment. It's passive. She texts late at night, "What are you doing?" If you're free and interested, answer lightly and schedule another time. Don't become on-demand entertainment. She cancels day of with a real reason and a sincere alternative. You accept once. She cancels twice. You release. A woman will either move mountains to see you, or you will become a mountain for her to climb later, alone. That's not arrogance. That's clarity. Turn your attention to purpose. Men who chase women often lack a chase worthy of their energy. Choose something hard that you can improve at weekly. A lift, a language, a business, an art. Mastery radiates. Flow states make you less needy. The paradox returns. The less of your identity rides on her response, the stronger your presence becomes. The stronger your presence, the more she wants to be around you. Your value isn't a speech, it's the weight of your day. Mind your environment. If your apartment looks like a crash pad, your dates end at the door because you don't feel like a man who can hold space. Clean lines. One good candle. One plant. Working lamps. Books you've actually read. A quality playlist low in the background. 2 clean glasses ready. Presence is architectural. It tells a story without you saying a word. If intimacy grows, continue to pace. Don't flood her with future promises to lock it down. Create such a steady, nourishing rhythm that exclusivity becomes her idea. This aligns with real-world observations and behavioral science. We escalate commitment when our investments feel both safe and exciting. Keep novelty alive, new places, new questions, new experiences, while deepening rituals that belong to you two alone. Preserve your separate life. Mystery is not secrecy. Mystery is the sense that this man is deeper than what you've explored so far, and he will be that with or without me. When you feel the impulse to chase, run this checklist. 1. Am I breathing shallow? Slow it down. 2. Am I catastrophizing silence? Reframe. Silence is data. 3. Am I about to send a message to reduce my stress instead of to create value? Wait 10 minutes. 4. Is my plan clear? If not, craft a specific, time-boxed invitation. 5. Have I matched her last investment? If I've been overinvesting, step back and let the balance reset. 6. What am I building today that would make any woman proud to witness? Do that first. Everything you want begins with standards. A standard is not a wish. It is a rule you enforce with your behavior. You can set the standard that you meet women in the real world weekly by entering environments that align with your values. You can set the standard that you do not chase delayed replies with speed. You let the tempo be set by mutual enthusiasm. You can set the standard that your calendar features training, deep work, social time, and rest before it features dates. When you live by standards, women feel your backbone. When you break your standards for attraction, women feel your collapse. One attracts pursuit. The other attracts tests you'll keep failing. The art of not chasing is not the art of withholding love. It is the craft of inviting the right woman into a life that is already rich, into a presence that is already calm, into a direction that is already set. You are not here to convince, you are here to reveal. You reveal your taste by what you choose. You reveal your values by what you refuse. You reveal your strength by how you stay steady when desire spikes. This steadiness is the quiet language of a man women trust. From today, you embody a simple, relentless practice. You spot an interesting woman. You approach with a smile that reaches your eyes. You offer a line that names reality and moves it forward. You look like you're about to judge the coffee as hard as I do. I'm your name. You talk. You listen twice as much as you speak. You laugh. You close. Thursday, 6. Espresso. Join me. If she chooses in, you lead. If she hesitates, you release. If she ghosts, you don't complain. You re-enter your mission and meet someone else. Your attention is no longer a river that floods whoever steps near. It's a channel that flows where the terrain invites it. You will notice a shift within weeks. Women start to text first because they know you won't smother the thread. They suggest plans because you've shown that plans with you are simple and satisfying. They flirt more clearly because you are a man who can hold a signal without panicking. Some will test. That's fine. Tests are invitations to be consistent. You answer the same way every time. With clarity, with pace,